What up, S&M Hit Squad, and welcome back, guys. Here's your boy Sean.
And your girl.
Yes.
Mel. Welcome, S&M Squad. How are you guys doing today? We hope you guys are absolutely amazing.
Yes, guys. If you're having a rough day out there, we got to turn it around, right? With some good energy.
Yeah.
And I think this is some good content, guys, all right?
All right.
So, my lovely wife, what we got today, babe?
Okay. Oliver Anthony on the unexpected success of Backlash from Richmond, north of Richmond.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Okay. Can't wait to get into this one.
Let's go. I'm ready.
All right, so guys, you guys sent it over. We appreciate it, all right? So before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and also turn on your post notification bell so you guys be notified. Let's go ahead and get into this one.
Let's go.
Good energy, good content. Let's see what we got. Here we go.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
And you're going to have to deal with that soon. Because I guarantee you there's going to be some people that are making some CGI, AI.
There already
are.
out there? Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
What is that? I'm sure there are.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with a lot just because, I'm doing... So anything social media related right now or any internet presence I have right now is coming from me off the phone just like before everything blew up. So I haven't invested the time to like look at everything circulating, but people like friends and family have sent me stuff and some of it's pretty funny, but they've got all these different AI remixes of the song with different voices and overlaid different faces and all, and it's funny to see where it's going to go,
That is funny. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with that. My daughter sent me some advertisement. She goes, "Did you do this advertisement?" I'm like, "Nope. Nope, that's not really my voice."
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it is my voice.
Day after the day after things blew up, one of the towing companies had an ad on Facebook that had it wasn't really me, but it was a red beard and like the side profile of sunglasses looking out the window. I'm like, okay, I guess I've made it anyway. That's when I realized like people are already ripping things off. And what's crazy is like every shirt that I've worn anywhere in public, there's a organization that I'm not like officially related to or in any way have done anything with, but it's a friend of a friend in the neighborhood. It's called Nets with Vets, and they take out veterans with PTSD and let them go deep sea fishing. And so he asked me last minute just to wear his shirt at one of the concerts. And do you know now there's like 1,500 listings online for counterfeit Nets with Vets shirts? And so the organization reached out like, "Hey, are you like making shirts ripping us off?" And it's like, it's not me. So it's like it's a weird thing. But yeah, I've already experienced a lot of that stuff. Not so much on the AI side, but just I don't know. The internet's just such a rowdy place,
Oh, it's so rowdy. The world's a rowdy place.
It is, and maybe people bring their best and their worst on the internet. Like I've always tried to stay off social media as much as possible, but I've learned very quickly that like Twitter and Facebook and stuff like you see comments and feedback from people, both overwhelmingly positive that maybe you wouldn't get in a personal conversation, but also like overwhelmingly negative too.
Yeah.
People just use that as a vent. They just take whatever seething hatred they have inside of them. They're like, "Oh, I'm getting that guy with it."
If you had a song just about love that resonated like that, it would be almost impossible to hate you. But you have a song where you're talking about how people are fed up with shit, and it obviously resonated. I mean, I've seen songs go viral, but that's pretty bananas, son. Your shit went to the moon right away. And God, I'm not sure who sent it to me. I'll have to find out who sent it to me, because it's one of those things where like once one person sent it to me, then it was like dozens of people were sending it to me.
It's funny because originally that song wasn't really even in my top 5. Like it's not normally the type of song. I've written songs with similar messages, but as far as that sort of like, I guess anthem format is what people are calling it. It's like an anthem. Like that's not something I would normally write, but
it's an unlikely anthem.
Yeah.
Insane times. It would be an unlikely anthem.
Yeah, I had no idea that song would react the way it did. At least in my case, I think the one thing that's helped me too is that my singing isn't the best, but I've never had any like vocal lessons or anything. So the way I sing is just the way I sing. And so like I think even the same way with her and other people, it's like it's maybe rough around the edges. It could be a little pitchy, or it's you're not using the right part of your face when you project and whatever. And so like on paper things aren't quite right, but I guess to another human it sounds right because it is what it is, you know.
Pure.
It's authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's
I just want to stop it for a minute because he just said that we didn't have no vocal classes or vocal coach.
Yeah.
He's just singing his natural voice.
Yeah.
And the world is loving it.
Oh my
Who
goodness.
does not like his voice?
It's so pure and so relatable.
You know.
You can hear the pain in it. It's amazing.
And then you got to match his voice with his message.
Yeah.
It's a perfect match.
Yes.
So we are loving it. Here we go, guys. Here we go.
any right way to do anything. I mean, it's like you see it in everything. There's a person who violates the rules, and they're the best at it.
and then the rules almost morph into whatever that is. Like, it's funny, like with music. Yeah, music has, country in particular, but music in general has gotten way too wrapped up in like this algorithm of how many beats per minute it needs to have, and how many verses, and how they need to be layered. And it's like they've almost created this sort of like industry standard, like OSHA rule book of how music needs to be performed. And so like you can only do that so many thousands of times before people are like, okay, what else is there, you know?
Well, people like that too. That's the thing. There's a lot of damn people. There's a lot of people. The problem, I think, with a lot of people is they want you to like what they like. And if you don't like what they like, what you like sucks. It's funny like that, man. We're so tribal. We are tribal with our cell phones. You know, we're an Android or PC. You know, Android people
brands,
have to stick together. It's like we're so weird. We're so weird, but we're like that with our musical taste. We're like that with our cultural sensitivities, or our cultural sensibilities, rather, like the way we feel about life and how life should be. We want everybody to kind of think along the ways that we think. It's very strange. And when a person like yourself gets labeled a right-wing, left-wing fanatic, like right out of the gate,
both in like a week and a half, then yeah, at least I know I'm doing something right. Like to me,
they're looking for your Biden campaign contributions now. They're going through your fucking taxes. The whole thing is so bonkers, man. Like, can't they just accept that you made a great song and people enjoy it?
Yeah.
Why does it why do people have to attack it?
Well, I think it's just for whatever reason I'm the subject matter the last couple of weeks, and in everyone's defense, I probably haven't. I've waited for this opportunity, I guess, to really have a real conversation with somebody about whatever it is I am. So people are just trying to find who's this Oliver Anthony guy, and what is he, and where does he work, and who did he vote for, and what's his family like, and yada, because they want to sort of build this image of whatever it is that the person behind the song represents, for better or for worse. The people who agree with it want to. I don't know. It's really funny to watch on my end, because obviously I know what's true and what's not, and so like just even what I've skimmed through of people sending me like singing at the Super Bowl, like how many people have formed an opinion about whether or not I should be paid to sing at the Super Bowl. Like, I'm not singing at the Super Bowl. That's just a song somebody made up. But there's been hundreds of hours of people's time wasted probably talking about all these little like things that don't even exist. It's just somebody made them up and put them on the internet, and so I'm just letting them ride. I think it's great.
It's wild.
I just think it's great, like that. At least the last couple of weeks, I've been able to entertain everyone and get everyone's mind off like all the other horrible stuff that's going on in the world right now. Like, at least everybody can have a good laugh, you know.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's a subject of discussion. So like everybody is getting involved, and then somehow or another it became cultural. And then there was Dwight from The Office.
Oh yeah,
he chimed in that if he was going to write a cultural anthem, what did he say? Something like he wouldn't write about overweight people on welfare. He would write about billionaires and their taxes.
Yeah,
there is nothing funnier than millionaires talking shit about billionaires. There is nothing funnier about millionaires pretending these billionaires are out of touch.
Oh yeah.
Take Dwight from The Office down to West Virginia. Take him through those coal mining countries. Take him through those places in Appalachia where people have extreme poverty. And pills have ravished those areas. Take him through there.
And it's everywhere. Yeah, the sad thing is it's everywhere now. It's not. Yeah. It's funny. People right off the get-go, I guess because it was Radio WV that posted the original video, but like I've never once advertised myself as being necessarily from the mountains. My grandfather grew up in western part of Virginia in the mountains, but I'm from Farmville, which is technically Piedmont. But even throughout rural Virginia, that poverty is a big issue and drugs are a big issue. And I mean, it's not just even in the rural areas. You go into downtown Richmond or any downtown anywhere for that matter. It's almost like these problems exist everywhere now and I think obviously they are because that's why the song resonated the way it did. The problem for me was I knew that I needed to do this. Like I knew I needed to. I procrastinated with music a long time. I mean, I'm 31. I've been playing guitar and singing on and off since I was a kid. Like my grandma was in a band years ago, and so I remember as a little kid, what got me interested in all of it was Dukes of Hazzard when I was a kid. I was like 5, and I used to sit with my grandma and we'd sit and watch Dukes of Hazzard and watch Waylon Jennings pick that guitar. Of course, I had no idea who Waylon Jennings was, but that just I just fell in love with that, and so grew up listening to like that 70s country, and she loved all the old stuff like the 50s and 60s and even in the 70s, even Janis and all that. And so like she really introduced me a lot into music when I was a little kid, and so like I just kind of held on to it, but never pursued it the way I should. And then I'd play at a bonfire party or I'd play at whatever, it's a friend's house, and everybody's like, man, you got to do something with this. You don't want to waste this talent you've got and whatever. And that would almost make me feel even shittier because I'm like, oh man, I suck. Like I'm such a piece of crap for not doing something with this. And so yeah, like when I was outside of work, it's like I'd drink, I'd get just absolutely stoned, and I would just sit around and try to think about anything but what it was that I really needed to be doing, which was like, and it's kind of like funny, but that's ended up what kind of sparked me into like writing all these songs and doing all this stuff, because it's like I don't know, just like with you, probably with what you do, jiu-jitsu or whatever, it's like for me, songwriting it gets my head, like you said, getting your head clear, because that's all you can, songwriting is interesting for different people, but now that I've been in the industry for 2 weeks and I've talked to like
now that you've been in the industry, you conquered it.
Now that I'm an industry expert, it's like some of the other musicians I've talked to, like the people I've looked up to over the years, they experience this too. But certain people, when you songwrite, it's a very it's dramatic. Like
do you write all your own songs?
Yeah, but it's
have you been accused of not writing your own songs?
Very early on, yeah, because since I guess it's not even my stage name, it's Oliver Anthony Music, and so it's supposed to represent music from, Oliver Anthony Music is my grandfather, and so he grew up in the 30s in the mountains and used to tell all these wild stories about how life was back then, but the music's just sort of a characterization of like that period in time and those people, and that's... So yeah,
so your real name is not Oliver.
Christopher Anthony Lunsford is my real legal name, and so that's what's on like if you look up the songwriting.
Why did you decide to sing as Oliver Anthony? Just in
like I said, I have it. I just had the YouTube channel listed as Oliver Anthony Music, just because like that's sort of the demeanor or the, like I said, the character I was like that older Virginia style music, like. If you go on YouTube and you look up that type of music from back then, like those old recordings of people, like that's what I just love, that type of stuff.
Do you think you're gonna keep that name?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people still call me Chris, and I've posted on social media, call me what. I mean, I've been called a lot worse than either of those things, but yeah, it'll stay Oliver Anthony Music, and definitely, yeah. It's a special name, and it's a special name to me not only because it was my grandfather's name, but it's sort of like, to me, it reminds me of how different things were back then. But he was born Oliver Anthony, but everybody called him Anthony growing up, and so like he always thought his name was Anthony Oliver, and last name Engel, and so like it wasn't until he was in his 60s and going to retire. He realized that his name didn't match his birth certificate, so he had to actually change his legal name when he was in his 60s. But it's because back
thought his
then,
name was Anthony Oliver.
Yeah, and so
his whole life.
But his legal name was, and so it's and his parents named him. So it's just like, but all the paperwork back then was so scattered up because a lot of people were illiterate, and of course documents weren't tracked as well as they are now, and so it's like there's people in the family that have a different spelling and it's the same last name but a few letters are different and stuff, but it's just kind of cool, like but he just thought that was crazy. He had to change his name when he was 65 so he could draw his retirement and all, because his social security and everything was under a totally different name. But
that's
so
crazy.
it's just special to me. He's like the only other one in the family like me. Most of our family's like average height, 6 feet and under, but he and I were both 6'6", redheaded, left-handed. Like I don't know, in a lot of ways I just I thought it was special to kind of respect him. He passed away in 2019, and that's kind of when I I guess that's when I first kind of adapted the name for the music. I didn't really get serious with anything until
2
probably
weeks ago.
Yeah, until a couple weeks ago. Probably until I think I uploaded the first original. Like when I decided I was in it to win it, and I really wanted to make this thing happen. It was probably May of last year when I uploaded "Ain't Got a Dollar," or it might have been "Rich Man's Goal" was the first one I uploaded on YouTube. But that's when I decided, like, all right, I'm doing this thing.
Yes.
But yeah,
So you were just smoking too much weed, drinking too much, and just procrastinating.
yeah, and so that, and like, anxiety is definitely something that's underestimated. I used to but I used to just not really understand when people talked about mental health and anxiety, because everyone gets stressed out over stuff, and so you think of anxiety as being just like this normal phenomenon everyone deals with, but your mind can really put you in a dark place to where that thing it just holds on to you like a and it just makes it very difficult for you to do anything. And so I spent at least 2 years of my life almost constantly just having what felt like just a knot right here, just wrenching at me.
Well, that's especially true for people that are pursuing a non-traditional life, that doesn't have any guarantees. It's a wild life to try to be an entertainer, like to just to choose to try to make it in this wild world of people that are singing and making songs, and you want people to pay attention to you. Like, do you know how many fucking people are singing? How many people can sing?
Yeah.
How many
A
people
lot.
are recording things? And now with YouTube and the like, how many people are putting stuff up on the internet for other people to enjoy? It's a lot.
Well,
the
and
idea that you're going to
yeah.
stand out. So that you're filled with anxiety just because of that, because this future's uncertain.
Yeah, I think for me, a lot of the anxiety came from me just feeling like I was running out of time.
Wow.
Wow, I would like to hear the rest of that interview.
Cancel.
Huh?
You gotta hit cancel. It's gonna go into the next video.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
I thought it was a second part to it, but it wasn't. This guy is so humble.
Yes. Yeah.
He's so humble, and he's like an overnight sensation.
I mean, it's like he came out of nowhere, and I'm like, who is this guy? Wow. Yes. Like, he's so different. His style is different. Everything about him is like back,
Right.
from a time years ago, like back in time.
Right.
And it's amazing to see what it would have been like, what music would have sounded like if we were born back in maybe like the 30s or the 40s, like that raw sound. It sounds like a cappella. It sounds natural, and it speaks from the heart. And
yes.
To know what this guy have gone through, like, oh my gosh.
And he's
Addiction.
just letting it out. He's not, trying to cover nothing up. He's telling you, his real life. I smoke, I drank. I just started. I wasn't really into it, but now I got the wheels rolling.
Yes.
And he's making a change.
Yes. He's not trying to be perfect.
And the one thing that I understand is, after he was offered all his money, he didn't change up.
Nope.
He stayed the same guy, and he didn't let it get to him.
He didn't take the deal.
He didn't take the deal, basically.
Being offered millions of dollars when you're living on the grid, in a camper, out there in nature.
He's like, nope, I'm going to be same guy, same guitar, same truck, same Dugs, everything. It's like basically still the same for him.
Yeah.
And I just, I appreciate that about him because, he's showing a real part.
Yes.
Of life, man.
It's crazy that people are like creating fake narratives for this guy, like using AI to make money off of him. It's crazy, but like he said, that's how you've made it.
Right.
And he deserves everything he's getting.
Yes.
He stayed true to his heart, his heritage, his family, legacy, Yeah.
And then, the biggest song he got, Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah.
He said he didn't really put that much into it. He said that was like his 5th song, down the line.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah.
What might be that big breakout song that'll get the attention and the exposure that you need. And,
Most definitely.
Great job, Oliver.
Seems like a very humble
Great
guy,
job.
very down to earth.
Yeah.
I love his stories about his family. He lets you in. He's not trying to make himself seem better than everyone else, or like he
big
just
guy,
from this
broke the internet.
just extravagant lifestyle. Like he is real. This is
Yeah.
the most realest guy you're gonna get
And
in
humble.
this day.
He's humble, man, and he's like
In this day and
straightforward.
age.
So that's what's up, man. And I got here a couple more of his songs that we didn't get a chance to hear, but we're gonna dig in that rabbit hole. That's what's up. All right. So guys, we appreciate you guys watching. We thank you so much. Go ahead and smash that like button, give this video a big fat thumbs up, and let us know what you think inside the comment section.
Wow, and I'm
Hell to the end.
to piggyback on what he was saying when he said about his grandfather's name and how his granddad had to get his name changed
Right.
when he was in his 60s.
Yeah.
And that's true because like a lot of people that we know from the South, they don't know their birthday.
Right.
They don't know their actual birthday.
My mom is one of them. She got 2 of them. So,
Yeah.
hers was all mixed up. So
Right. So it's like, wow.
it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just glad that he kept his grandfather legacy, his name alive, and he also spoke on his grandmother. So
Yeah.
I think they are right proud of him.
Woo.
Right proud of him.
And back to that anxiety thing he was talking about. It is
Yes.
so real.
He said for 2 years he had something like in his chest, just wrenching at him.
I can relate to that feeling anxious, and like
That's deep.
just have to breathe through my anxiety and
Absolutely.
just
Yeah, that's deep.
stay true to myself.
Have to.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're gonna keep rocking and rolling with Oliver Anthony, bringing this good country, soulful type music, man.
Yes,
that
I'm
the
loving
world needs to
it.
hear.
I'm loving it.
Me too, my love. That's our time, guys. We are signing off. Here's your boy Sean.
And your girl.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mel.
Bam.
All right,
Hell to the
guys.
yeah.
Have an amazing day on purpose.
That's what's up.